It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at Ominoes, a family-style dice rolling game in which you're going to be rolling dice, placing them on a grid, possibly moving some dice around, trying to make groupings of those dice and score them. You're going to have your own color, and you're trying to not just score your own color, but sort of mess with other people a little bit, separate their dice so they have a harder time scoring their colors. Let me give you a look at how this works, and then we're going to come on back and I'll tell you if I like the game. Here we go. So here's everything that comes in the game. You get the board on which you're going to be playing. You get a handful of dice, some scoring tokens, and that's basically it. The board is double-sided, so you have this side here for 3 or 4 players, or you can flip it over for a tighter board designed for 2 players, but you can really play on either side with any number of players. You can play on this side with more players, and it'll give you a much tighter game. You also have the snake pit here in the center, which is an optional rule for not being allowed to go in there. If you play without that rule, you can place in there normally. But I do like that rule, so we're going to use it in this scenario. No one's going to be allowed to go into the snake pit. To set up the game, each player, by the way, is assigned a color, so I'll just do them by corners here. And at the beginning of the game, each player takes 2 dice, showing their symbol. They place them anywhere on the board, and then each player then takes a single die, they roll it, they also add it to the board. This player rolls, they'll add it there, there. This player will roll and they'll add that there. And then boom, 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 and this player will roll and they will add this here. All right, and then you're ready to begin. The turns are quite simple. You are going to be rolling a die, possibly moving a die on the board, and then adding that die you just rolled to the board, hoping to make sets and score them. The way you win in the game is by getting to 13 points for the 3 or 4 player game, or all the way up to 21 points for the 2-player game. So, the way you score, by the way, is by making a group of symbols that are at least 4 or bigger of your color, and then you will remove those dice from the board and you get a point per die. So if I make a group of 4, which is the minimum, I get 4 points. If I get a group of 6, if I happen to connect 2 and 3 and I add 1 in between them, I make a group of 6, I'll score 6 points with that move. So let's start. We're going to say the red player here is the first player. They roll a die. It's blue. They get to move a blue beetle on the board 3 spaces, exactly 3. And I don't want the blue player to score, so I'm going to break this set up. 1, 2, 3. And then I add this anywhere on the board. That's my turn. It'll be the yellow sun player's turn. They'll roll, and they get one of the 2 special faces on the dice. This one allows you to move any piece on the board, and it'll be a wild towards any group it is touching. And so I can move any piece with this, exactly 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops. There we go, 1, 2, 3. And then I will add this piece to the board, like so. And I'm going to score, because I just made a group of 4 dice in yellow's color. So these 4 come off the board. Yellow's on the scoring track with 4 victory points. It is the green player's go. They take a die, they roll that die, they knock things around, though they're not supposed to. And I've rolled the other special face. How fortuitous. This one allows you to take any die on the board, pick it up, re-roll it, add it back to where it was, and then you add this die itself to the board. That face is also wild. So green is going to pick this die up, re-roll it, hope they get a green. They did not, but that goes right back where it was. And then they add this to somewhere on the board. Goes over to blue. Blue's going to roll a die. They get that one as well. They are going to roll this to make sure red doesn't get too lucky. And they'll add this to the board. They'll add it right there. And this is going to continue around the board. Red just rolled this. They'll move 1, 2, 3, and they'll add this one somewhere goofy like there. That's going to continue with players attempting to make groups of their own color. You don't score unless it is your color, your turn rather. So even if I make a group of 4 green birds there on red's turn, That player will only score that when it comes to their turn, assuming it is all still actually there and together and hasn't been re-rolled, etc., etc. This continues players removing groups, scoring victory points. So someone gets to 13. Once someone gets to 13, game is over, and that player has won. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward game. So let's go back up top, and let me tell you a little bit more about this and what I thought of it. Here we go. Ominoes. So there you have it. Just a handful of rules, which is perfect for this game because really it's a family weight game, and it's a very short game as well. The box lists it at 15 minutes, and I think it's about right. 15, 20 minutes, you're going to be done. The game has really nice components. The dice are very well done. Board is attractive, and it's just a handful of things. Very few components and very simple rules. I enjoy the game best at 4. I think it's the way to go. When you play with 3, when you play with 2, you have to make a couple of adjustments, which, while they work and they play out fine, rob the game of a little bit of its simplicity at 4. At 4, everybody has a single color. You know what you're going for. Roll, move, place, possibly score. That's it. And you can teach this to lots of different people. It's one of those games that is going to go over well, I think, with mixed age groups, as long as everybody is okay at the table with sort of other players being a little bit mean to them. You're going to have a great time with this one, I think. So, yeah, this is a fun one. This is one that the first time I played surprised me with both its elegance, simplicity, really, and how well it works, because it is really, really a neat design. I like the manipulating the board a little bit, the abstract nature of the game, but it's not a perfect information abstract. It's not one of those games where you're going to sit there holding your head while you puzzle out what's going on and try to make optimal moves. You're going to be rolling dice, and that's great. I think that lightens up the game enough where you can now play with, like I said, just about everyone. Really neat stuff. Very much recommend this one. It's one that I fear might fly under the radar a little bit, so I wanted to mention that you should pick it up. Give this game some love. I think it deserves it. It's a very neat design, very cool stuff, so check it out. Ominoes, this one's going to get a seal of approval from me. Go out there and grab a copy, get one as a gift for somebody. It's got that feeling to it, the kind of game that you can give someone as a gift, and they're going to enjoy it. They're going to want you to play with them, all right? That's it for me on this one. Ominoes, check it out.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.